Hey, what is up? We are live and we are going to do some drafts today. I'm not sure exactly what all we're going to draft. Probably do some drafters, playoff best or second chance. Probably do a couple wildcats. Uh, I'm not going to do it. I'm probably going to do less wildcats this week with the shorter slate and all that. But, and also with the wildcat, like there's 18,000. Max entry is 150, $450 to max it, and you got to get sixth or seventh place to get your money back. That's not necessarily the kind of tournament I want to full max. I don't max these usually anyway. I usually do between 50 and 70 of them. I've done pretty well at that number. After that, I kind of focus and just get the same stuff over and over again. So I just either lose more uh, or dupe a few times, stuff like that. So we are here and we are going to join a Wildcat first. That is step one today, and we're going to join in 10 seconds. Uh, Thanks all for coming out. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do some of the drafters playoff stuff. It's way different. You need a tight end, and it's only 10 rounds. It's pretty wild in my eyes. You I've been building several one tight end teams. So we'll see how that works. I'm not sure yet. Like we could look at the ones I've drafted already if anybody cares, or we could just draft some. I wanted to start off with a wildcat and then probably hop over to drafters and do a playoff ball, a best ball one over there. Not going to do the mitten style. I like the total points for playoffs because of the stuff that happened like last week. Your Romeo Dobbs teams are completely dead in an underdog, and they are probably not completely dead on drafters. Uh, and we got Dirty P at the 103, and I have the 105. First draft of the week. Warm up the punt leg. Hell yeah. If you're just popping in, if you could smash the like, that would be fantastic. I think this is my fifth draft of the week, and I've only had one pick. Uh, I I picked it 102 once, and every other pick has been 4, 5, or 6. But it's so few that it's not that big of a deal. Uh, we're taking Josh Allen here. What's up, Jamie? How we doing? I'm hoping to get Loveland here. I would take James Cook as well. Thought you were going to make some nice cash. Uh, I made some. Uh, I actually had a really, really good weekend overall. I netted a little over 1,000 in the dailies. I got second in the hurry up, and I did like 5 pick'ems in for. I think I was in for $75, and I netted 850. So, or I got 850. So I netted like 750 to $780 or something on the pick'ems as well. So a little over $1,500 on the NFL stuff last week. Uh, it's like my third best week of the year. Uh, so that felt good. What's up, Steven? How we doing? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so we're gonna do a wildcat or two, and then we're gonna jump over to drafters and do some playoff stuff there, and then we're gonna jump back. We're just gonna draft back and forth. Yeah, I on the Wildcat leaderboard after the first day, I had 2 top 10 teams, but I one of those teams had no players left, and another one had Nico going still, who I needed to fade for the other game. Uh, Yeah, I think after Saturday, I was like, I mean, if it would have ended Saturday, which obviously nobody would have drafted the way they did, I was first in the hurry up, and uh, I think I was making $1,600 in the Wildcat too at that point. So I had $3,600 shown, which I knew wasn't going to happen. I was hoping to hit about 12, like $1,000 total, which would have been double my entry. So I feel like I had a good week. I ended up slightly higher than that. All right, so we got Josh Allen, we got Colson Loveland. Um, do we want Shakir? I don't think so. I think I want. You know what? Let's just take Woody Marks here. I probably won't get to a lot of Woody Marks, but this is absolutely a solo. This will be a single running back team. I'm probably going to end up like 50% single running back. I'm going to draft a lot of single running back when I have Josh Allen, Colson Loveland, or either one of those players, most likely. Especially if like Devonte Adams falls back around. I don't mind Adams at the 104 over Josh Allen. I think the Rams are going to smash in the air, like just absolutely smash. So Dirty here pulls DeAndre. Is that where DeAndre Swift normally goes? I thought he goes a little later. No, that is about where he goes. So I personally like it's kind of weird to me that Charbonnet's been going ahead of Kenneth Walker. I don't agree with that. Um, we'll take Luther Burden. If I can click the right button, we'll go ahead and take Luther Burden. We'll have a Rams double stack or a Bears double stack with a Josh Allen, uh, naked Josh Allen is what we're going to do here. Hey, thank you for the congratulations. How we doing, Doc? What's good, Lutz? Welcome, sir. Type in the chat after this draft. Do you want to do another Wildcat, or do we want to do a drafters second chance $5 playoff best ball? Uh, the ones over on drafters, there's a couple guys who auto all the time, like JJ Mystic guy. Uh, he builds very incoherent teams all the time. He's done it every week, uh, and he's continued. We got one vote for drafters. We're definitely going to do both. Uh, we're just going to bounce back and forth a little bit. I would like to say I kind of want to save more of the Wildcats for the weekend than I do like for Friday night and Saturday morning than I do the drafters playoff best ball stuff. So I wouldn't mind doing some of those. All right, so do we have any news on Nico? No practice Wednesday. That's kind of what I was assuming is that he's not going to end up practicing very much. To be honest with you, I'm going to take Jaden Higgins here. I might just go ahead and take Travion. Did Brandon Cooks went? Okay, he's way down the board. Where in the heck is Cooks? 34.8. I I don't know why. I could not see him. I could not see him right there. I don't really believe that Travion is a really good pick for this. Uh, but we are Josh Allen Superman mode and then fully into everything else. And on this one, that's Watching that game live was, yeah, I I wouldn't even be shocked if he doesn't play, if they have 2 games, if he doesn't play in the championship game even. Uh, it looked pretty bad. Uh, so we got Josh Allen, and then we got Colson Loveland at tight end, running backs, Woody Marks, Travion Henderson, and then Luther Burton and Jaden Higgins. What's wrong with Josh Allen and 5 rookies? Josh Allen and 5 rookies. That's what we got here. We got Dirty in the 3-hole, CMC, DeAndre Swift, Jennings, Christian Kirk, Barner, Brock Purdy. Yeah, I kind of like his team a little more. Um, I was hoping that Jennings or Sutton would make it back to me. Sutton, I don't love, like, I kind of like Franklin and Pat Bryant just as much as Cortland Sutton. I'm gonna have very little Cortland Sutton. Uh, like if we look at what he's been doing recently, like he had 2 really good games and then 2 pretty dud games. And those are games they needed to win. And Pat Bryant on his first game back, uh, came back and had 31 yards, which was more than he did. And then Troy Franklin, I believe, has been pretty good. Like, I guess he hasn't been. So Bo Nix has just not been as good. I guess is what's been going on. But anyway, we are going to drafters. We are joining the $5 second chance, and good luck on getting in. I'm going to set up some background music. All right, there we go. So while we're waiting, I'll show you I drafted, I think, 3 teams last night. I'm pretty, like, I've been taking a little bit of J.K. Dobbins. Like, you can get him in the very last round. And if he ends up playing 2 weeks, like, if they get to the Super Bowl, there's a solid chance that he's going to matter quite a bit, right? A team like this, like, I'm hoping to flex a wide receiver, right? I took both tight ends on the 2 teams I have for the NFC, and then I just took 4 Broncos, or I have 5 Broncos, right? I have Harvey, Dobbins, Bo Nix, and then the receivers not named Mims and Cortland Sutton. There was a running back I really wanted that got picked right before I took Juwan Jennings. And I just couldn't get around to getting another running back. So I just kind of punted running back. And then I took a couple more higher profile wide receivers, and I secured these 2 together to make sure I had the Super Bowl locked up. I'd rather have the combination of Higbee plus Tonjes than Evan Ingram, for sure. And if I took Evan Ingram, I would have had a 5th wide receiver, or I would have turned that into a running back. But if we go to the board, Woody Marks went the pick right before me, and that's who I was hoping to get here. I was kind of hoping that, like, Swift could make it back. I didn't expect that at all. But all the running backs go very, very early. So this was one of the boards here. I pulled up some of this. My thoughts on the Seahawks-Niners game. And by the way, we're waiting on 1 more for this. I don't think we're gonna see the same thing we seen last week or the 2 weeks ago with the Niners and Seahawks. I think Shanahan will game plan better. I think that there will be more offense in that game on both sides of the ball, like at least on the Niners side of the ball. But they absolutely could not stop anything Seattle was doing on offense. And I do think Seattle will win, but I think it'll be a much closer game than it has been. Lutz asked for drafters, and Lutz doesn't show up to drafters. We have Rick Cruiser at the 102. I got the 104. Good luck, Rick. Pal Pal at 1. Love the name, sir. And we got Frosty. Frosty 1. Yeah, so Seahawks Niners, I'm just expecting more offense than people think. Oh no, it's all good, Lutz. I don't draft and drive. No, it's all good, man. I just thought it was weird that the guy who asked for something didn't pop in. It's not like the lobby instant filled. Yeah, they'd played the crazy game. So I will say, I know some people are upset about this, but I think they've done this the last 2 years. But they have the 1 seed play on Saturdays and force the other team to have a short week. So not only do you get the home field advantage, you also get another team most likely on a short week if you're the 1 seed. I personally think that is just as big of a deal as getting the extra game. Like that's just kind of where I'm at. Now, as I said, I do think that Seattle will win, but I think it's more like a 60-40. I think a lot of people think it's more like 75-25. I think it's a little closer than that. I do think Seattle is just the better team overall. But I remember a game not too long ago where the Niners played the Rams and Kittle was out and Juwan Jennings was out and Ricky Pearsall was out and nobody gave the Niners any chance at all. And they just absolutely destroyed, I believe it's the Rams on Thursday night, right? So I am I'm not super worried about that. Yeah, we'll do CMC and James Cook here. And we will be done at running back. Sorry, Frosty. If you're listening, I'm sorry. He goes double quarterback because he's going to throw the draft now. He wanted the James Cook, so he oh yeah, you didn't realize they were playing Saturday? Good thing Eagles didn't. Yeah, yeah, they didn't. The Eagles completely no-showed. It was just like 2 years ago, right? All right, so if we let Bo Nix go through, okay, so Bo Nix goes there, which means I'm going to go ahead and just pull up Brock Purdy to make sure I get somebody. I could build it, like, I would much rather force myself to have that quarterback than to, because I all that's left are these running backs now, and I already have 2. If Loveland came back, I would have taken him, but I will probably take Juwan Jennings. And where does, so Todd just goes around pick 40. So we're going to go ahead and take Juwan Jennings here. we'll take the full Niners thing with James Cook and probably end up with 2 tight ends here. I'm not sure who the second one will be. I may end up taking Caleb Williams also. We'll see how the draft plays out. I mean, you can flex a running back. So, like, if it gets too deep here, I will take one of these guys if they fall too much. Favorite scroll down is Tonjes this week. Yeah, I mean, on Underdog, he is probably a scroll. On Drafters, you have to play tight end, so he is not a scroll at all. You got 6-man pods, and you have to play tight end. And it's only 10 rounds. So it's a wild, wild format. So you only have 4 bench spots, basically. And you have to get those all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't know how Sirianni isn't fired, or did I miss it? I mean, Sirianni's not going to get fired for that. Like, feels a little ludicrous to think that he should have been fired. We will take... We're going to take Luther Burden here. And I'm going to mix up Luther Burden, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. But we took Luther there because even if... Because I assume the 6 hole here wants Caleb Williams. I don't mind giving him Caleb Williams. But if he doesn't take him, I will absolutely take him on the way back. I'm pretty happy just saying that the Niners get the Super Bowl with this team. And if they don't, whatever, it's all good. My next pick will I'm just going to go ahead and take Tonjes here because I need him. I need to make sure I get him. And then Brandon Cooks went at 22. I don't think that's normal. The Eagles look like they're just having it fun. So they didn't fire Sirianni, but they instantly fired Kevin Petula. So Petula is gone. And it was literally their offense the whole season that held them back. So it does make sense. Yeah. The Eagles look like they're just not having fun. I mean, we seen that early in the year, right? Like, AJ Brown, like, for whatever reason, was just whiny from the start this year. I would not be shocked if we see AJ Brown traded this year, at all. So the drama with AJ Brown, well, the drama with AJ Brown, like, do you think the Titans traded AJ Brown away because he was a good teammate? I'm going to assume there was a lot of stuff we never heard about there. The fact that AJ Brown, like, I don't remember hearing it. I remember hearing a little bit between him and Vrabel, but not him and the quarterback, not him and Tannehill, right? Like, so maybe it's just AJ Brown being a wide receiver diva guy, which is something that absolutely is possible, right? All right, so do I want... So Stroud did go. We have 3 more picks. We're gonna take Kayshon Boutte here. And then we're gonna take Ricky Pearsall. And then in the last round, like, if we have to ride just Tonjes, that's fine. like AJ Barner is kind of a value at this point, though. But I want Ricky Pearsall on this team. That gives me a full Niners Super Bowl no matter what. And I can just kind of take some advance rate pieces. Like I have Luther Burden as an advance rate piece. I could use James Cook as one if I really need it. I still have a Super Bowl with the Patriots, right? So I'm pretty wide open to taking whatever AFC piece I want. I will take Dalton Schultz if he makes it back. I don't think he will. I don't really want Barner on the full Niners stack here. These, like, basically once Monungai goes, there's like 0 running backs I'm very interested in. I know that one team I showed you had 2 of them down here. Dobbins is interesting, I will say. So none of those guys made it back. Do we want... Who do we want here? We'll take Pat Bryant because I love Pat Bryant. We're just gonna take Pat Bryant on every team. I think that's what we're gonna do. Like I'm fine with the one. Like I think I'm just gonna smash wide receivers on the AFC side here. We're going to take Demario Douglas, I think, with the last pick, or Jalen Knoll. Or did Douglas go? Douglas is here. So we could take him, or we could take Mims. I think we're going to take Douglas, though. If it's a Niners Super Bowl, I do think that the passing game is how the other team will play it. So you got the Patriots with New England. Like if it's a New England Niners Super Bowl, this makes a lot of sense because Buffalo could get there to play the Patriots, and then the Patriots and then a full Niners stack. What's your gut tell you about who advances? Like I've been saying I'm a believer for a while. I didn't think the Bills would beat the Jaguars, and I don't feel like they maybe should have, but it happened. You can't really argue it. I never said the Bills were a bad team. I just thought they had a bad matchup. I think they match up reasonably well against the Broncos. I think that that'll be a really, really good game. My gut's telling me that it's going to be the Texans and the Bills in the AFC Championship game, and the Texans going to the Super Bowl right now. Not my brain. That's what my gut tells me. My brain tells me it's going to be the Broncos and the Patriots. So my gut tells me the opposite of what looking at things tells me. I think RJ Harvey is looking at the statistics and stuff. I think RJ Harvey is going to have a monster game against the Bills. But then, that would be a surprise if it was the Texans, right? Like 3 different teams were 70% to win deep into the fourth quarter. All 3 of them lost. Yeah. Was the Packers were one of those, the Bills, and yeah. So this team, we have Brock Purdy, CMC, James Cook, Juwan Jennings, Luther Burden, Kayshon Boutte, Pearsall, Pat Bryant, Demario Douglas, and solo tight end Jake Tonjes. Yeah, it never really felt like the Eagles were going to win that game, though. it did, like, after the first half, like as soon as the second half started, it kind of felt like the Eagles were going to throw the game away. I know that the percentages didn't agree, but it for me, it never felt like the Eagles were going to win when they stopped. Like they just stopped. They did what the Bills have done for years and just stopped running the ball whenever they were winning the game by running the ball. I don't understand why teams are doing that. So Rick here has two. Did you miss me saying that it was it was 10 rounds? Because it looks like you thought there were going to be 2 more rounds. That's how my first draft looked, by the way. I noticed in round 9 that I only had 2 rounds left, and I made some adjustments. You got Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, Kyron, Charbonnet, Woody Marks, wide receiver, Puka, Nico, Mims. Like, you probably just have Puka and Marv for this week, which can't, like, I mean, Puka is Puka. And then Colby Parkinson and Dalton Schultz. I'm not going to lie, I don't love it. It definitely feels like you thought you were going to get 2 more rounds at wide receiver, and you definitely did not. Let me know, am I right, am I wrong? Or do you just believe Puka outscores the entire field by enough it doesn't matter? All right, we're going to do another second chance best ball over here. I hate it, says Rick. Were you confused on the 10 rounds, or was I right about that, or did you just kind of miscalculate something? What happened? Like, I kind of think you need, like, 1 tight end on drafters may be the way to go. With it only being 10 rounds and having to have a tight end, like, it's pretty wild. Do you have a preferred roster construction on this site? Because you use, oh, you mind blanked. Okay. Well, so I kind of like, if you go too early, like if you get too early running back, I like stopping at 2 running backs. And no matter what, one of tight end or quarterback, I think you want a solo. On drafters, at least. I believe last year's second chance tournament, they had 10 deep. Like, I think it was 12 people, 12 roster spots. This definitely feels different. So I kind of like going deep at wide receiver. We got the 101. Lutz makes it to the 102. I don't care what anybody says. I'm putting Puka 101. I'm drafting it that way every single time. Oh, we got Rick. Rick is back as well. He's back with a vengeance. He wants to make sure we all know that last draft wasn't him. That he can do better than that. I've definitely absolutely failed on a few drafts on stream. I 100% have failed on some drafts on stream, and I will continue to do that here and there. Like, I double tight ended the other day on a daily on accident. I've kind of been going with I want 5 members from one team and then a bunch of shots on the other side of the field. So like one of the teams I showed at the beginning, I went with 4 Broncos, and then I didn't take Evan Ingram, but I took 2 tight ends from AFC or NFC teams, and I scattered my wide receivers among those 2 teams. Like I made sure I had one wide receiver from those 2 teams as well to give myself 2 possible Super Bowls, and it spread out my bets for total points as well. So Stafford goes, shocker. If you take Puka over JSN, like, you're pretty much locked into not taking Darnold, right? But I don't agree with that. I'm taking Darnold and Kenneth Walker if I get it. Actually, I mean, I'm definitely Kyron's fell a bunch of spots here, so we're gonna take Kyron, and I'm a believer, so we're taking Bo Nix as well. Cooler says that makes sense to me. For the new format, I think just stacking 2 teams is too thin for in the late rounds. Yeah, and I don't mind taking a higher drafted advance rate piece either in these. Like, I've locked myself into Bo Nix, right, or into the Broncos now. Now, if I don't get Travion or DeAndre Swift back, like, if I get, like, at this point, if I don't get DeAndre Swift back, I'm just gonna punt. I'm just gonna punt the position. And I'm gonna be Kyron only, and I'm probably gonna go full into, like, in this specific scenario. Oh, Blake Corum goes over here too. Because I would have taken Corum as well and just went fully into that Super Bowl and then taken a bunch of advance rate pieces around it. So it looks like I will have a chance to get DeAndre Swift here for an advance rate piece. And then what do I want? I mean, I might as well take so Franklin goes over here too. Like, what are you doing to me, Rick? Come on, Rick. Guess we'll take Luther. So yeah, I'm definitely, like, this is not how I want to build this out, because I'm being forced to not have any of my quarterback stacking pieces, and I'm locked into having that team as well, and I have 2 pieces from 2 NFC teams, so I'm gonna have to pick a path, and I don't like the way that it's going. Rick, for whatever reason, decided to build out the same exact Super Bowl that I have built out. And he decided to do it all after I'd already committed to it. But, like, and he pulled up 2 players above ADP. Because I believe Franklin got pulled way up. I don't know what his average ADP is. Yeah, he got pulled up an entire round and a half. Which, if that's what he wants to build out, that makes sense. If he just liked Franklin more than Juwan Jennings, I'm not saying I dislike it. Like, I don't mind Franklin over Jennings, to be honest with you. But I would have absolutely taken Caleb if he came back. So we are going to go with DJ Moore here and Evan Ingram. No, it's all good, man. You can't, like, part of these drafts is learning how to adapt, right? So I do have a stacking partner. I'm going to be solo quarterback, solo tight end now. And I'm pretty much, like, I'm pretty well off to make sure I have a Super Bowl team if the Broncos get there. Like, I will take, like, and of course he takes Pat Bryant. Like, I'm fine just stopping with Bo Nix and Evan Ingram here. And so, but I like this team for total points. Like, there's definitely a world where Bo Nix is quarterback 1 for 2 of these 3 weeks. and he doesn't really bring along a wide receiver to an insane degree. And that if Puka gets to the Super Bowl, he easily could be, he's probably going to be the number one scoring player in the tournament. And that just means Luther or DJ Moore has to kind of outscore him up till then. I mean, I don't like Evan Ingram at all. And I haven't gotten to Troutman. I probably won't get to Troutman, but yeah. And like Marvin Mims, I don't like him. I don't really like him at all. But I mean, this team's actually coming together reasonably well, though. We're going to take Marvin Mims. We're going to take Kyle Monangai here. So we do have 3 pieces from the Broncos. And we're building out a pretty big Chicago thing. We have both Chicago running backs. We also have Kyron Williams. Then we have Puka, Luther Burden, DJ Moore. So we need one more Broncos piece or a like for the Super Bowl, right? So we're going to do something that probably isn't smart. We're going to take J.K. Dobbins with that last pick. We're going to assume that if the Broncos get to the Super Bowl, that Mims does something, and I don't know. I don't think that's right, actually. Like all of these pieces that Rick have taken, being taken 10 picks above ADP, completely wrecked everything I was planning on doing. And I think he's just trolling. It's all good. Yeah, okay. You'd already done it. But I mean, he was building out the same exact path. I've actually taken J.K. Dobbins in almost every single Broncos team I've had, I've taken him in the 10th round. So I just think it's a good pick. If you have Bo Nix, you have them in the Super Bowl. And I don't think J.K. Dobbins is going to be fully drafted. And as long as you have pieces, I think it's fine. I really don't want Little Jordan Humphrey. I think I'm just going to take Xavier Smith, actually. And Lutz over here, he takes Sutton to screw both of us. Like, he didn't expect that either. Like, he was doing that for advance rate. Like, so Lutz has Sutton. And then wrapping back around, Rick takes Troy Franklin. Like, it's wild stuff. We have Bo Nix, Kyron Williams, Swift, and Monangai. Wide receivers, Puka, Luther, DJ Moore, Mims, and Xavier Smith. And tight end, Evan Ingram. Lutz has Brock Purdy, CMC, RJ Harvey. So he already had Harvey. So that makes a lot more sense to me. I missed that he had Harvey. So Brock Purdy, CMC, with Juwan Jennings, and DeMarcus Robinson and Tonjes. RJ Harvey and Sutton. Like, I much prefer his team to either one of mine or Rick's. And Rick has only Blake Corum, J.K. Dobbins at running back. He has Devontae Adams, Troy Franklin, Brandon Cooks, Pat Bryant, Keon Coleman, Tutu Atwell, Colby Parkinson. So a bunch of pieces, no Puka, but he does have Corum. I do like Corum. He did take him pretty high, though. Well, yeah, I figured that was what you were doing. I ended up getting, I like Bo Nix quite a bit, and usually you're pretty free to get Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant if you have Bo Nix. The Sutton drafter usually doesn't go fully into it if Bo Nix is off the board. So, and I'm not saying you wouldn't have. Maybe you would have taken Franklin, but Pat Bryant going that high is something that hasn't happened in any draft that I didn't do it. But I think it's a great pick. I think that is closer to where he should be drafted, so I totally understand it. We're going to do one more of those. I'm joining right now, and then we're going to go back over to Underdog, do one or two Wildcats, and that'll be it. What's up, Losimo? How we doing? And then the reason I'm going to stop early tonight, I'm going to actually port over. I'm going to work on my my end of season, all the stats and stuff that I messed with last year. The thing I kept bringing up, I'm going to work on that. Try to figure all that out. At least get that started. I will definitely work on it throughout the off season. And I'm going to also make my list of rookies that I need to look at, and copy over a bunch of their stats for what they've done over college for the last year or so, and start on my process for, like, because I could everybody's stats except for Indiana and Miami is done, right? So I can at least get that started. We are waiting on 4 over here on Playoff Bestball on Drafters. We are now waiting on 3. If this takes a few more minutes, I will just pop over to Underdog and jump into a Wildcat. But yeah, I've not looked at a single thing on the rookies yet. I know everybody's saying Jeremiah Love, how good Jeremiah Love is. I have no idea. I've not seen him play. When I do watch him play, I will probably have an opinion. I will probably end up agreeing. I'm just very fearful that Kansas City actually uses their first round pick on a running back. I think we need to replace Joe Thuney. We do need tackle help as well, but I think that the way Andy Reid likes to run the ball is he likes to run it up the middle. That was where we were most effective last year as well. But I do think that having an even better player there would make it a lot easier. This is not filling at all. So I am going to back out, and I'm going to Underdog, and we are going to join a Wildcat, and we're going to join it in 10 seconds. I know Coolers and some other people have been talking about, like, the wide receivers don't look that good. I've heard tight ends do look good. We'll see whenever I get into it. But the main thing about porting over the stats that I want to do is that is the first step. I will basically rank what I did last year is I ranked every player without rookies in it. I did my overall ranks there, and then I filtered rookies in as I did all the rookies by themselves, and then I slotted all the rookies in where I kind of thought they'd get drafted. So I definitely made some mistakes in my rankings. Last year I had all of the tight ends way too high, but so yeah. For college, yeah, I think there's clear top 3, but yeah, running back, like Todd McShay, who I don't like. I do like McShay. I think at times he definitely gets long-winded, but I do that too, right? I can't be mad about it. We get the 102. We actually pick near the front. Look at that. And I'm personally CMC over JSN this week because of depth at running back, more so than what I think is going to happen in the game. And I do think that Puka, I think pretty obviously Puka outscores JSN at wide receiver this week. I would put that at like a 65-35 rate. Like, I think it's very, very likely that Puka is wide receiver 1. Or at least ahead of JSN this week. Thoughts on Scatabo? I will have zero thought on Scatabo until I do research on that injury specifically and what it entails and all the timeline stuff. I'll put it this way. If Cam Scatabo is fully healthy, he's probably like early 4th round pick, something like that, like mid, like go around where James Cook did last year, kind of thing. That's kind of what I think, but I don't think he's fully healthy. Like, so we will see how that all plays out. Now, I'm not going to be fully out on him. Like, no matter where he goes, I'm going to make sure to have like 5 to 6%, even if I hate the ADP with his injury stuff, because I love him as a player. I loved him coming out. Like, I just really like that, the whole situation. Come on, you don't want Loveland. You don't even know who Colston Loveland is. See, there we go. All you got to do is talk a little shit, and you can get what you want. If I could land one of the 2 Seahawks running backs here, I am ecstatic about this team. Like, absolutely ecstatic. There goes one of them. All right. So this is like best case scenario. You get a fall on Colston Loveland. And then you get Charbonnet. Like, either, like, I do slightly prefer Walker to Charbonnet this week, but I think they're both really good picks. And I don't mind having a pass catching style running back on the opposite side of a bruiser back like a Charbonnet as well. Like, I do think that makes a lot of sense in a very short slate. In a big slate, like if this was 10 games, I wouldn't like that near as much. But being a short slate, we're just saying that that's the game that explodes. I do think it's the Rams game that explodes. Like, I think pretty obviously this week, the most points is going to be Rams. Like, what do we got here at the point totals? We got 48. You got 40.5. You got 48 for the Texans game. Got 48.5 for the Rams game. The Seattle game, we got 45.5, and the Buffalo game, we have 45.5. So, I mean, that makes sense to me. It makes quite a bit of sense to me. But yeah, like, this feels awesome. I'm pretty shocked that this player took Caleb Williams, though. Like, if you're going to take Caleb Williams there, why would you not take Colston Loveland with him? I get it that I guess you couldn't have taken Colston Loveland. You were just mad. Maybe they were just mad they didn't get Loveland. That's why, because I'm an asshole. That's why. He's not ruled out yet, but he didn't practice today. Yeah, we'll take Steph Diggs and Drake May here. So they play on Sunday, which means he has to practice by. I think he has to practice by Friday. You have to have 2 successful practices without showing concussion symptoms to play that week. I know there's a lot of people out there saying that concussions don't matter in the playoffs. Like, they'll let them play. This is the test. Like, does the NFL actually, because it's pretty obvious that Nico was very concussed. Like, and there was also a play earlier in the game that he maybe should have got checked on that he didn't. And I didn't necessarily see it, but Saul was saying that he definitely thought so. I definitely, like, he went back and rewatched it. I do think, like, I'm gonna trust that he's correct on that. Yeah, I don't expect him to play either. I know he sat out a game. I don't remember why exactly he sat out that game though. I do think that as a very last round pick, I don't hate it. Like, I have taken it when because, like, if Pearsall plays, I think he's a pretty clean, fun swap as well. Especially with a team like that. Like, I don't think he's gonna play. Like, I really, really don't. So, but like here specifically, this guy can take whatever he wants, but like, I don't mind taking him. Oh yeah, you can only swap to Rams and Bears, can't you? Yeah, we'll take Brandon Cooks. Yeah, that's right. I don't love double stacking all the time. I really like Brandon Cooks has been really good lately. And I will definitely have some booty teams for sure. So we got CMC. I got a little bit of a fall on Loveland. And so I wanted to just make sure I took something reasonable here. Brandon Cooks is the wide receiver 2 on that team. And I do think they're going to put Keon Coleman out there with Patrick Surtain, because you can kind of shadow him into that. But we got CMC, Loveland, Charbonnet, Diggs, May, and Brandon Cooks. We're going to do one more. Wildcat. We're going to jump in 10 seconds. Can you swap 2 Pats from the same game? Yes. Yeah. So, like, you could swap to Booty. You could swap to, like, earlier, like yesterday, you could, yesterday, Jaden Higgins wasn't drafted all the time. So you could take Nico. Like, I had one draft at the 102. I took Nico at the next to last pick, because Jaden Higgins was still on the board. So that is an absolute clean swap. But Jaden Higgins is starting to go in every draft because people are assuming that Nico doesn't play. And if Nico officially is ruled out, he probably gets moved up to, like, the 4th round. Like, the second it's said that happens. So I do kind of expect like I like Ricky Pearsall and I like Jaden Higgins. Like I will take a very small amount of Nico in the last round, but it will only be times that Jaden Higgins is still on the board or that Ricky Pearsall is still on the board. But I don't want to force myself into a whole lot of swapping a Nico out for something. I guess with the Pearsall, I can't do that, right? But you could always swap into Booty or to like you can't even do Brandon Cooks. So it's a pretty thin swap, right? If Jaden Higgins isn't on the board. And I don't know if I want to swap to Jalen Knoll to a high degree, right? Like I would be fine having a couple teams swapping to Knoll, but not a bunch. All right, so we got dirty at the 106, and I am at the 101. And this might be my last draft for the day. Just kind of going live every day. I'm going to do the same thing I did last week. I'm going to go out with the family on Friday. I will go live at 2:30 on Friday. Tomorrow I will be live at 4 like usual. And I think Saturday morning I'm probably just going to go live early in the like around noon again and just be on for like 2 or 3 hours before, just drafting teams. Just chilling, drafting teams. So that is my plan for the week. Stafford goes all the way back here. Josh Allen's still on the board. Please give me Josh Allen. That guy got JSN Josh Allen. He got JSN Josh Allen. That is awesome. What are you doing over there, Dirty? You got to hold the integrity of the contest, Dirty. Come on, Dirty. What are you doing, Dirty? I'm going to do the same thing that other guy did. Take Caleb Williams. Take Kenneth Walker. Caleb has so many stacking partners that I'm fine doing that. I mean, JSN Josh Allen is awesome. That feels very good. I couldn't imagine getting Puka Josh Allen. Like Matt Stafford went unstacked when Puka and Adams and Kyron are all off the board before Josh Allen goes. Yeah, like naked Matt Stafford over Josh Allen is something that probably might not happen, and it's a red badge. The red badge done it. It's Jason. That's who done it. It's Jason. Yeah, Ramondre and Travion are two players I'm going to have a pretty hard time clicking this week. But yeah, I don't know if I would have, like, I do think that taking Shakir there makes a lot of sense too. Pulling him up, like you already got the fall. Make sure you get like Josh Allen, Shakir is going to be very, very, very popular and very common. But JSN, Josh Allen, Shakir is going to be like zero, right? I would have personally, like, I don't mind that. I would have for sure taken Charbonnet there. No, I don't know. You have JSN. Maybe not. I don't know what I would have done there. I would have definitely taken Kenneth Walker or Sharbs if he made it to me, but I don't have the receiver of that game as well. I'm hoping I can get Luther. You don't want Luther. You already have two wide receivers, guy. You want Woody Marks. You think I'm going to take Woody Marks, don't you? So we definitely want Luther Burden, and we're going to wait for the last pick to take a tight end. do we want... We're just going to double stack it. We got the Puka bring back on the Caleb Williams double stack with Luther Burden and Rome. And then the tight end here. It doesn't really matter who the tight end is. This is probably going to be duped a bunch. Like a lot. I would obviously like to have Tonjes. I assume that the Josh Allen drafter will take Dalton Kincaid. Elijah Arroyo season, huh? It really does. It definitely feels very live to be the highest scoring game. And both of the tight ends in that game are still there. I also think AJ Barner's a really strong play. Oh, full practice for Arroyo. That's fun. That is a lot of fun. I will definitely take the Higbee over the Parkinson. I don't know. Like, maybe I just take Dalton Kincaid. And hope that, like, I'm not going to get Kincaid. But if Kincaid makes it, I take him. If not, I will take Tyler Higbee. But we got... So, Dirty likes the booty. Dirty sure likes the booty. Dirty's team here has Drake May, Kyron Williams, Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre's got a touchdown pass in what? 3 straight games? Or is it 2 of 3? Oh, so he had 75 yards, but no touchdown last game. And then Jaden Higgins and Kayshawn Boutte. Yeah, I like that team. I love my team. I love the 2 holes team. I don't like the 3 holes team. The man took Xavier Hutchinson and Christian Kirk on a naked Matt Stafford team. Just why? That's I would love to know your reason for doing this. Like, no hate, just would love to know your reason for drafting this team this way. I would not do that. If it wins, congratulations, because I was never getting to this lineup ever. Never. So my team, we have Caleb Williams, Kenneth Walker, Puka, Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, and Tyler Higbee. It is Niners get smashed on the ground, and this is the #1 scoring game. We just went all into it. I don't mind it. I really like that draft, so we're going to do another one. We're going to see if we can find It's Jason in the next lobby. We're jumping in, and we're jumping in instantly. Sorry if you wanted to join. We're bum hunting, guys. We're bum hunting. Xavier Hutchinson. Yeah. Like, we're out here bum hunting, guy. Oh, we didn't find Jason. Guys, go out there, get in some drafts. It's Jason's out there. Do some bum hunting. I don't understand the unstacked Stafford over Josh Allen into Xavier Hutchinson last pick. Like, maybe he thought he was taking Xavier Smith. I bet that's what happened. I bet he typed in Xavier, clicked the button, and clicked draft. And he thought he was taking Xavier Smith. That's my story. I'm going to say that's exactly what happened. The man wanted Xavier Smith, the Rams wide receiver. He typed in Xavier. And then, you know that's what happened. You absolutely know. He's like, I'm just going to backstack Matt Stafford with Xavier Hutchinson. And nope, he double stacked with Xavier Hutchinson and not Xavier Smith. That's and some of you guys are thinking this right here, the three holes name. Stop talking. Stop talking right now, sir. You don't know anything. I wanted Xavier Hutchinson. Xavier Hutchinson is my boy. Like, what could be worse? Like, what? Like, he took the best Iowa State receiver on the Texans. He took Xavier Hutchinson, not Jaden Higgins, not Jalen Noel, Xavier Hutchinson. We all love Xavier Hutchinson out here. If you've been in my Discord, you know I'm very, very much not a Xavier Hutchinson believer. Not this week. Not this week at all. We'll take a James Cook team here. I don't want to be super underweight James Cook. I personally am going to have RJ Harvey rated above James Cook this week. Take that for what you want. I may even have Kenneth Walker. And you all know that I've been. Why are we all chasing Kenneth Walker forever? I've been saying that for a long time. This week, I think you chase Kenneth Walker. Literally, and no shame to Coolers, because what Coolers is doing works. But that man cannot quit Kenneth Walker at all. And yeah, this is our time, guys. Kenneth Walker crowd, it's here. You have arrived. It is finally Kenneth Walker season. And I don't hate this. I don't hate just taking both Seattle running backs. I think I want to try to do that. I've seen Charbonnet, and I've even seen Walker fall all the way to 16. And with the as thin as the slate is, I don't know about that. All right, let's see. Am I gonna take Xavier Hutchinson in this draft? The only way to know is to stay tuned until the 6th round. Are we going to get back-to-back Xavier Hutchinson drafts? Some are wondering. Let's take DJ Moore and we'll just take DJ Moore and Ramondre. We're just going to kind of take some things here. I do have a plan, believe it or not. We'll see if the plan works. The plan is to somehow convince the 5-hole to put Stafford back in the pool and get Stafford in the last round. They obviously are in my Discord and are just trolling me because of all of my anti-Hutchinson stuff every time he gets on the field. Go back and watch the last couple months of Texans ball. And I'm not even saying I don't hate Xavier Hutchinson as a player. I think he's fine. But every time he gets on the field, very shortly after something disastrous happens to the Texans, they either a lot of their turnovers happen. They'll be driving down the field, they'll put him in the lineup. It's not necessarily that play, but as soon as they put him in the lineup, that series of 3 downs is the end of their drive. Unless the only time that is not the truth is when a penalty happens to extend the drive. And it's been wild that it just has continually happened. There was one drive last week, a single drive last week that did not happen, but it's been a really odd thing. And like I called the turnovers last a couple of them last week because I'm like, oh, Hutch is on the field, means the drive's about to fail. One of them was the red zone turnover. Like I'm like something's gonna happen. They're gonna get a false start and miss a kick or something. Like he just bad luck. Like we didn't expect this, but I mean, if Drake May wants to make it all the way back to me, we will absolutely do the Drake May. The goal was to take Dalton Schultz. The goal was to take Dalton Schultz Stroud and have one of my very few Stroud teams, but yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and take Stroud, but we're gonna do the Drake May with Ramondre stack. We have Drake May, we have James Cook, we have Ramondre. Wide receivers: Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, and tight end Dalton Schultz. That is going to do it for me today, guys. I will be back on 4 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will probably stream a lot longer. I like to do, like, I'm just kind of doing some, actually, I take it back. If we can fill a second chance drafters best ball real quick, if we can fill one of these in the next 2 minutes, I will stay on and I'll draft one of these. I don't want to burn through a lot of the Wildcats. We were having trouble filling these earlier. So if we can get several people in this, I will do one more. But tomorrow I will definitely have a longer stream either way. And by the way, if you're new to drafters, I do have a promo code. You can get a 100% deposit match for up to $100 with promo code WHO, capital HOO, promo code WHO. It looks like this may fill, so that would be pretty sweet. We need 2 more for the drafter second chance. And for those of you who do not know, this is only 10 rounds and you still need a tight end. Your roster is definitely going to look and feel really, really thin. So understand that. But yeah, like I like to know more about practice reports and stuff like that to do a lot of my drafting right now, especially. But tomorrow, I basically want to know about Ricky Pearsall because I'm fully okay taking some DeMarcus Robinson. I just want Pearsall to be out to do that. And like Tonjes feels fine, right? Like we know Kittle's not playing, so like Tonjes, that's just perfectly fine. And Nico feels like he's definitely out, right? So we got the 101 or 103. JMJR is that Corey? I can't remember who JMJR is. Let me know in the chat. I know that is part of the Who crew. So we got Sky Trucker here. Sky Trucker, by the way, is known as an anarchist in the drafter streets. Oh, J. Okay, it's Losimo. Got it. I really wish you could put notes on the names, like you can in Discord. It'd be super nice for like me specifically, like be like, oh yeah, total chaos would be the Sky Trucker note. It would be total and absolute chaos. we're gonna just act like the Niners are gonna win. I took a lot of CMC in the original one. The problem is a lot of it was paired with Kittle, but none of it advanced, so it doesn't matter. By the way, let's switch that up. I can only handle that background music for so long. Let me know, do you guys like the background musics or not? I have it low enough for me that I barely hear it. So I don't know if you guys prefer it, dislike it, what you guys like. Okay, so Losimo, Drake May there. Okay. I think most of the community does prefer it. So all right, we're locked into a Broncos or Niners Super Bowl now. We're gonna try, like, now that Lutz isn't in here, or more importantly, Rick Cruiser. Thank you. Like, by the way, I like the team you built. I think you gave up too much value at running back to pull Franklin and Brian up. Like, you knew that I was going to take him, so you pulled them up, which I understand. But you also gave up a lot, and I don't know if you're comfortable. Like, I personally would not be comfortable with Blake Corum and Dobbins as my two running backs. It's going to be thin in this format for sure. Like, you're definitely going to be thin for sure. I just don't know that I would be comfortable with that. And giving up the value where you took Troy Franklin, could have been a running back. It would have changed your entire team, right? Like, but yeah, I think I built out the best thing I could have there. Lucha's team looked really good though. I really like the way Lucha's team looked in that last draft we did over here. They're a lot different because you have to be thin somewhere. Like, absolutely have to be thin. We will take Juwan Jennings if he comes back, and if not, I mean, Colson Loveland this late is very interesting. Do we want to just take Loveland instead? I'll take Juwan Jennings. I feel like I should have taken Loveland there because of pure uniqueness. This feels good. Josh Allen, Kenneth Walker, then Shakir, Kincaid, but you get a value on Loveland on top of it. So you're going to be pretty unique because you have those two. Both of those tight ends can score with wide receivers in a next week, where next week, if both of those teams advance, you're telling me that Kincaid and Loveland could, if it's Seattle versus Chicago and Buffalo versus the Texans, that it couldn't just be the tight ends that score, right? The most points for the flex. I could absolutely see that being something that happens. I wanted to make sure to get Jennings there though. we're gonna force ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and take Tonjes there, and I'm assuming, like, as I said, Sky Trucker is absolute terrorist. They have CJ Stroud at pick 25 on a JSN team. But they took 3. So they actually did something that made sense this time. I watched them do a whole bunch of drafts. This makes a lot more sense than what I used to see them drafting, at least in my eyes. Yeah, we'll take Brandon Cooks. Sorry, P Sauce. I do like Brandon Cooks. I can still build that out a little bit. And I think that Brandon Cooks, like, for full, and drafters is full PPR for those of you who do not know as well. Yeah, so, like, I'm probably just going to make this a... Do I want a second tight end or not? I don't think I do. All right. We're going to give Rome Odunze back to Sky Trucker unless Bronco here is okay with it. So Pat Bryant does go high here. Yeah, I actually like this team from Sky Trucker. I've very rarely said that, but I like this team quite a bit. They went 3 Seahawks, didn't get Darnold. Darnold went early, right? And then they just pivoted straight to Chicago, who is on the opposite side of that bracket. I like it. I like it quite a bit. They took Demarcus Robinson. They don't have any AFC piece for the Super Bowl, but they probably need an AFC tight end here at the end. But it's they kind of got wrecked. And they could have went with instead of Burden plus DJ Moore, they could have went with one of them and Christian Kirk and then tried to build out Houston. That's the only thing that I think could have been different there. Like, if you're going to take Stroud, you should probably take Christian Kirk or Jaden Higgins or something. Maybe they take Jalen Noel here. Or take Dalton Schultz here. It's probably the move I would have done. All right, so Xavier Hutchinson, anybody? Anybody want Xavier Hutchinson? It's Xavier Hutchinson Day, right? I'm just going to take Kyle Monungai because he shouldn't still be here. Monungai, I'm fine. I don't know that's definitely the right pick, but I don't hate it. We're just trying to take some points. We got Brock Purdy, CMC, RJ Harvey, Monungai, Cortland Sutton, Juwan Jennings, Brandon Cooks, Jaden Higgins, Ricky Pearsall, Jake Tonjes. So we have 5 members of the Niners. The only Super Bowl, well, we do have 2 Super Bowls. We have the Broncos and we have Houston with Jaden Higgins. And we have an advanced rate piece in Brandon. I guess we have one with Brandon Cooks as well. And Kyle Monungai as an advanced rate piece. So we have multiple advanced rate pieces there. There is a path for all of these. I guess Cortland Sutton and Brandon Cooks are kind of opposed, and RJ Harvey. But for the most part, all but one player could easily get to the championship game. We will go through Lossimo's team. Drake May, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Diggs, Booty, Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, 3 tight ends, Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, and Evan Ingram. I don't mind it. I personally don't think I probably never go 3 tight ends. But especially if I have my quarterback stacked, but I don't know. Like tight ends, like with Higbee and Hunter Henry, I just don't get what Evan Ingram's going to do. I'm just curious, like what was your thinking on Evan Ingram over another receiver or Monungai even, who is still available? Yeah, because there's a bunch of guys here. Like Pat Bryant was still on the board. Like a third tight end versus a wide receiver who puts up more points on average than the tight end does. I guess he's getting 6 or 7 points a week, which is kind of about where Pat Bryant is. They're basically the same. It's just that you need 2 wide receivers. You need 1 tight end. Just didn't see anybody that would get points. Yeah, I understand that. There's Adunze. Like, if you don't believe in Jaden Higgins, Pat Bryant, Adunze, if you don't think Pearsall is going to be healthy, like, yeah, I totally get that. But anyway, thanks for popping in, everybody. I'll be on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. We will be drafting a little longer tomorrow night. Have a great night. Peace.